Israel Keyes remains one of the most enigmatic and terrifying figures in the annals of American true crime. Unlike many notorious serial killers who crave notoriety, Keyes operated in the shadows, meticulously planning his crimes and going to great lengths to avoid detection. His story, which spans across the United States, is a chilling reminder of the existence of evil in the most unexpected places. Israel Keyes was born on January 7, 1978, in Richmond, Utah, into a large Mormon family. The Keyes family led an isolated life, homeschooling their children and moving frequently, eventually settling in the remote area of Colville, Washington. It was here that Keyes developed an interest in guns and hunting skills that he would later use to a terrifying effect. Keyes' upbringing was marked by a lack of social interaction and a strict religious environment. He eventually rejected his family's faith and gravitated toward more violent and antisocial tendencies. By his late teens, Keyes had already committed his first known crime, a burglary. This early venture into criminality would foreshadow a darker path. Unlike many serial killers who follow a predictable pattern, Keyes was a meticulous planner who took great care to ensure his crimes could not be traced back to him. He traveled extensively across the United States, often choosing his victims at random. To facilitate his crimes, Keyes buried kill kits containing weapons, cash, and other supplies in various locations, sometimes years before using them. This level of premeditation made him nearly impossible to catch. Keyes' known victims span across the country, from Vermont to Washington state. He avoided detection by carefully studying law enforcement techniques and choosing his victims and crime scenes with great care. Keyes often targeted people in remote areas, ensuring there would be no witnesses. He also took steps to avoid creating a recognizable pattern, making it difficult for authorities to link his crimes. Keyes' earliest known murders took place in 2001, when he killed Bill and Lorraine Currier in Washington state. This double homicide set the stage for a decade-long killing spree. Over the years, Keyes continued to refine his methods, becoming increasingly confident in his ability to evade capture. Keyes' most well-documented crime began on February 1, 2012, in Anchorage, Alaska. That evening, 18-year-old Samantha Koenig was working alone at a coffee stand when Keyes abducted her. He forced her into his vehicle, then took her to a storage unit where he sexually assaulted and murdered her. Keyes then went on a cruise with his family, leaving Samantha's body in the cold Alaskan winter. Upon his return, Keyes decided to create the illusion that Samantha was still alive, hoping to extort ransom money from her family. He took a photograph of Koenig's body posed to appear alive, holding a recent newspaper, and sent it along with a ransom note demanding $30,000. Samantha's family, desperate to see her return safely, deposited the money into her bank account as instructed. The ransom money was Keyes' downfall. Law enforcement traced withdrawals from Samantha's account as Keyes traveled across the southwestern United States. He used her debit card in several states, including Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. Surveillance footage from ATMs provided critical clues, showing a masked figure who was identified through forensic evidence and meticulous police work. On March 13, 2012, Keyes was arrested in Lufkin, Texas, after using Samantha's debit card. At the time of his arrest, he was calm and cooperative, giving no indication of the horrors he had committed. However, once in custody, Keyes began to reveal the true extent of his crimes. During interrogations, Keyes confessed to a series of murders across the United States. He described his methods in chilling detail, revealing how he chose his victims at random and took extraordinary measures to not leave any evidence. Keyes' confessions were disturbing not only for their content, but also for his apparent lack of remorse. He seemed to take pride in his ability to outsmart law enforcement. Keyes admitted to at least 8 murders, but investigators believe the true number of his victims could be much higher. He refused to provide details about many of his crimes, leaving families without closure and authorities with countless unanswered questions. Keyes' refusal to name his victims or provide specific locations added an element of frustration and despair to an already harrowing case. On December 2, 2012, Israel Keyes committed suicide in his Anchorage jail cell, cutting his wrists and strangling himself with a bedsheet. His death brought an abrupt end to the investigation, leaving many of his crimes unsolved and his victims unidentified. Keyes left behind a note filled with dark and cryptic poetry, providing little insight into his motivations. The story of Israel Keyes is a stark reminder of the existence of calculated evil in the world. His ability to blend into society, combined with his meticulous planning, made him one of the most dangerous criminals of the 21st century. Keyes' case continues to haunt investigators and true crime enthusiasts as they grapple with the unanswered questions and the haunting reality of his actions. Israel Keyes' story is a testament to the depths of human depravity and the challenges faced by law enforcement in tracking and capturing a methodical and intelligent killer. His crimes, spanning years and thousands of miles, reveal a deeply disturbing portrait of a man who thrived on the suffering of others. As we continue to uncover the full extent of his atrocities, Keyes remains a dark figure whose legacy is defined by the unanswered questions he left behind. If you've enjoyed today's video, please consider dropping a like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching Crime-n-Unwind.